Hello, everyone. My name is Michele Tryon, and welcome to CHKD Community Connections Take 10, where we invite you to take 10 minutes out of your day to reflect on your parenting journey and consider some strategies that may be helpful in supporting the well being of your family or students. Today's topic is nurturing environments that encourage positive behavior. Have you ever wondered how best to help your child or student thrive in your care and grow to the best version of their self? Here's some food for thought. I encourage you to listen to the webinar and take some time later to reflect on the ideas that I share. And at any time, you can pause the webinar to consider your thoughts, your ideas, and feelings about the content of the webinar, and then restart it. So, what does a nurturing environment look like? A nurturing environment for a child is one in which they have a felt sense of being valued and cared for. And what about positive behavior? We often think of positive behavior as a child cooperating with us, doing what we want them to do, or not doing what we don't want them to do. So let's expand that thinking and consider positive behaviors as behaviors that promote healthy development, that help a child feel successful, and often lead to shared cooperation. After all, it is our job to keep our children or students healthy and safe while they are taking that journey through childhood. So let's see what we can do to make that possible. So nurturing environments provide three key components: stimulation, recognition, and a sense of security or certainty. These are not only needs that children have, but actually human needs. We all have them. When these three needs are met in a balanced way, we can create nurturing environments anywhere, at home, at school, at grandma's, at the park. The more we adults understand these needs, the better equipped we are in the day to day to support our children or students in their positive development. And we are making an investment in their ability to nurture themselves in the years to come. Stimulation. Think about how this works. All humans need stimulation. So when it comes to stimulation, is there a good balance of quiet and noise in the environment, stillness and movement throughout the day, engaging and resting throughout the day? We know it can be different for each person. We call that neurodiversity. We all have differing needs. It's like the story of Goldilocks. What is just right for each child, and how can we adjust the environment accordingly? Recognition is another important component in a nurturing environment. Children need to be seen and acknowledged. When they are distressed, they need to know we are seeing their upset and we're there to help them to organize their feelings, to calm their bodies. When they're doing something positive, we want to recognize that too. What we pay attention to is oftentimes what we get more of. And when they master a new skill, we want to cheer them on. So children build like efficacy or agency, kind of that sense of confidence when we allow them to contribute to the home, the classroom, or the community. Contribution fosters a sense of belonging and importance. So when we give them chores at home and assignments at school that they're capable of completing, that makes them feel successful. And when we challenge them to take on something that is a little more difficult and we acknowledge their effort, that provides them with motivation to keep on trying. Okay, what about certainty? What happens when we have so much uncertainty in our world? And we do. We have political unrest, racial injustice, violence in the community, global warming, natural disasters, wars, school shootings. There's so much to be concerned about, so much uncertainty. It can seem overwhelming. So, how can we offer our children a sense of certainty in an unpredictable world? What can they be certain of? They can be certain we will get through hard times together. They can be certain that we will be here to help them. They can be certain that they are important to us and we will do our best to keep them safe. I really appreciate the language Becky Bailey uses in the Conscious Discipline program. She says to say to children as often as necessary, my number one job is to keep you safe. And when we set limits for them at home or in the classroom, it is about safety. How reassuring it is to a child that it reminds them that the limits and guidelines that we have to keep them safe, there's a purpose for those. We can also make the immediate environment at home or school feel predictable. There's a sense of routines and clear expectations, not really rigid, but a flow to the day. They know what's coming next. For example, let's put the toys away and get ready for lunch. That's something that happens each day. It's predictable and they can be certain of it. So the three key components to a nurturing environment, they're pretty simple, although not always easy to remember or take action on. Our children need a good balance of stimulation and downtime, a sense of belonging and mattering, and reassurance we will be there to support them and keep them safe through good times and through hard times. Take a look at this iceberg. All behavior is communication. What we see is the tip of the iceberg above the water. This is the behavior we observe. The question is, what is my child or student telling me with their behavior? So let's look below the surface. There's a huge iceberg submerged under the water. Look at all the ice down there. What is my child trying to tell me? What do they need? Do they need more or less stimulation? Do they need more recognition for the positive things they're doing? Less focus on their mistakes? And can we and they see mistakes as opportunities to learn? Do they have opportunities to contribute in positive ways? Or do they need limits and routines or a hug to reassure them they're safe and that you're there for them? When we only focus on changing or taking away a behavior, we miss the mark. We can't take away a behavior without replacing it with a behavior that meets that need. Once we understand the need, we can work toward a solution. For example, what if your child is making weird noises while you're trying to concentrate on fixing dinner? You've had a long day. It is so annoying. Is it misbehavior or a need for recognition and contribution or maybe stimulation? So think of it in that terms. Could you ask them to set the table or chop some vegetables and then praise them for being helpful? How can they get that need met? When we look at the world through a child's eyes, it is pretty amazing. And here's a few ideas that will help you create nurturing environments. So enjoy things together. Makes sense, right? What do they like to do? Spending time together, doing something enjoyable, fosters connection, which oftentimes leads to greater cooperation. We can also incorporate connect and reconnect time every day. So when they get home from school or you get home from work, or if you have shared custody, when you see them, spend 5 minutes giving them your full attention. No checking your phone, no getting dinner started, no looking at the mail. The idea is the child gets to lead in a playful activity and they have your full attention. The activity is their choice. I remember one dad talking about playing Pretty Pretty Princess every day with his daughter when he got home. It was not his favorite, but she loved it and she had his full attention. And it is okay to set a time limit as long as they are getting your full attention during the connect time, even if it's 5 minutes of recharge. And then offer clear expectations so that repetition and routines, remember certainty, we can have flexibility within certainty, but if the expectations and routines continuously change, the child will constantly need to test limits because the brain is pattern seeking. When a child can predict what will happen next, their nervous system can settle down and they have a much better time much easier time regulating their emotions. And kids love repetition. For the same reason, they'll ask you to read the same story over and over again, or they want to hear the same show over and over again. Or we need to hear this, they need to hear the same reminder over and over again about what they do need to be doing. We also want to be responsive rather than reactive. So look under the surface, respond to the need, not necessarily the behavior we're currently seeing. Pause, ask yourself, what do I want my child to learn? How can I teach that? If I want them to learn to resolve conflict without yelling at their sister, I need to model calm conflict resolution. And breathe. Don't forget to breathe. Take a deep breath inside out. It resets our nervous systems and lets our child know we are there to help them, not harm them. Once you connect and the child feels safe, then they can cooperate or learn a new skill to replace a behavior that is not helping them be successful at home or in school. We also want to notice strengths and praise effort. Children who feel good about themselves make better choices. Focus on what you do want and comment on effort, even if the outcome isn't perfect. Say something like, look at that, you were so mad and you were able to calm yourself down. Or look at that, you picked up half the blocks. I wonder how fast you can scoop up the rest. And if the outcome is not great, praise the effort. Oh, losing that soccer game stinks. It's tough to practice so hard and still lose, but I have noticed how your skills get better each week. You guys were connecting passes with each other like crazy. Be a helper, not a problem solver. This one can be really hard when we see them struggling. Don't take over. We need to step back, let them build efficacy and confidence. I so wanted to help my 3-year-old grandson the other day put his coat on, and he insisted on doing it himself. He took a little while longer than if I had helped him, but he did it. And then he said, "Can you tell my mom and dad I put my coat on by myself?" He was so proud of himself. So, winding up here, consider just one thing. What did I learn? Or what did I already know that got reinforced? What is one change I can make? And remember to stay underwhelmed and practice self compassion. It is not about being perfect or having perfectly behaved students or children. It is about providing a nurturing environment where you all learn and grow together. I'd like to encourage you to take 10 often, listen to other Take 10 webinars, or check out our many resources at the Parenting Resources and Dads in Action links. Reach out if you have any questions. Remember, your pediatrician is always your best source for questions about your child's health and well-being. And thank you for allowing CHKD to be your partner in parenting. Be well, everyone.